So we got a quick update video on this old girl. She's at about 283,500 miles as of this afternoon. Running real well, still with my drive, which is 100 miles a day, 80% highway, going slow. I've been getting 17.5 to almost 18 miles per gallon out of it the last several weeks. No issues. But I've done a few things over the last several months that I guess I should update on. The first one I did about almost exactly 5 months ago, as I put these PIA silicone windshield wipers on. You may remember that video, and they're still rocking and rolling. I have not cleaned the windshield other than using the wipers and the windshield washer fluid in the rain since, and it's been parked outside 100% of the time, either here or in Texas. You know, it's been mid-90s for the last month here on a day-to-day basis, and these wipers are still very good. And they're not perfect, but they're not streaking, and especially when you get a little bit of rain or a little bit of mist where you can run them pretty solid for a minute or two, they clean that windshield right down, and I mean, it's impressive. So about 5 months in on this set of wipers, and I think that's better than average for what I get, and they really weren't any more expensive than the high-end wipers I usually buy at the parts store. So far I recommend those highly. The next update, we'll get under here. Y'all remember my fun of having my leak all the way back in there. My fabulous plumbing fittings. They have held up perfectly for almost a year now, I guess, going on that. No issues whatsoever. No runs, drips, errors, leaks, anything. She's running good, cooling properly, heating properly, no problems. So if you have one of these that has that stupid tube in the back, the later models have it up front, so it's a lot easier to deal with. But if you have this metal manifold with that tube in the back, just spend a couple of bucks, buy yourself a big tap, thread it, use plumbing fittings, call it a day. Because that has been fine. I've had no issues whatsoever with that. The next one, when I changed the transmission fluid a few months back, I was a little worried about how that was going to work, because this is again a really old truck, and I really didn't have the history on the transmission fluid, or if it had ever been changed. And I've had a problem in the past where I've changed transmission fluid on an old transmission and it stopped working. But this one, much to my surprise, has just been better. Overall, it shifts better, it shifts more smoothly, it has not slipped, it engages just like it's supposed to, the lockup still works perfectly, everything is fine. So, as far as I can tell, that's good for another 50, 100,000 minimum. So I'm pretty happy with that. And now the final thing is I need to put some lights in this thing, because a few months back I changed out the original style corroded up headlights with these 2003-ish style here, and they've been fine. But I had a fog light fail over the last couple of days, so they've been in there several years, so it's about time to change these out. And one of the other reasons is I'm using the cheesy Chinesium bulbs that came with these lights from Amazon, so they're kind of yellow, and I always run Silver Star Ultras and everything else, so these were kind of whitish, not quite blue, but much whiter obviously than the headlights. And with the exception of the old cars that have bright yellow fog lights on purpose, I'm not really a big fan of mismatched headlight colors. So that's what we're going to do today real quickly. Let's see if we can set this up somewhere where we can get a little bit of view of what we're doing here. So the headlights, if you remember, come out pretty easy. You pull this thing up and then pull this one up, and yep. struggling to release a little bit. There she goes. You got to get them way up so they're loose, and then you should be able to push this out. Then we undo the clip, pop out the headlights, which on this car are 9007s for the headlights. So we got our brand new 9007s. Try not to touch the lamp. They'll get angry at you. It should only go in one way. It does. And we'll put the cover back on it. Lock it in. Plug it in. Aim the stubs back into the holes. Done. Lather, rinse, repeat. For the other side. Alright, so those are good. Now we will crawl down underneath and get the fog lights done. And again, these are fairly simple. Pop the plugs. These lights just twist out. Hopefully. Well, that was the bad one, so we will see about getting these. According to the book, these are 9006s. Again, being careful not to touch the lamp. And that's it. Now we will scooch over to the other side. This one's a little more of a faff because it's behind the oil filter. Unplug, unscrew, remove. Done. And we're back in business. So, that's the update. The old Ford's still running. It is time to do an oil change because I've got some crummy oil in it. For when it used to be burning oil, I had bought some cheaper stuff, and so I don't want to run it extended intervals like I would my synthetic. So we're going to get that done, but the oil change on these is pretty straightforward, especially on the 5.4s, which have the oil filter underneath the fog light. Basically makes it real simple to change without making too much of a mess. Not like any of my Dodges. They are awful. But anyway, hope you all are doing well. Hope your cars are doing well. If you got any questions, feel encouraged to put them down in the comments. So, y'all have a good day.